What's up guys, it's John Reeves Live, and today we're going to be checking out a new video for our channel, and I'm not really exactly positive what we're getting into on this. This is a Patreon suggestion, and I figured since we are going back to Japan in about a week, it might be good to brush up on our history of Japan. I have no idea what this is. Might just be a little history video or something along those lines, but thank you very much for the suggestion. If y'all are new to my channel, smash that sub button and let's get into this together. Freaking boop, and then hit that play button. Boom!
Japan is an island by the sea filled with volcanoes, and it's beautiful.
Okay,
in the year negative a billion, Japan might not have been here.
Negative a billion? Okay. Listen, just the first 8 seconds, I'm like, I feel like this is my type of editing.
In the year negative 40,000, it was here, and you could walk to it, and some people walked to it. Then it got warmer, some icebergs melted, it became an island, and now there's lots of trees because it's warmer. So now there's people on the island. They're basically sort of hanging out in between the mountains, eating nuts off trees, and using the latest technology, like stones and bowls. Ding dong,
Dude,
is the outside world, and they have technology from the future, like really good metal and crazy rice farms.
How much of this is like historically accurate is my question. I mean, obviously, like, we're all just chilling out between the mountains, but like, is this?
You can make a lot of rice really, really quickly. That means if you own the farm, you own a lot of food, which is something everybody needs to survive.
Yes.
So that makes you king.
Oh.
Rice farming and rice kingdoms spread across the land, all the way to here. The most important kingdoms were here, 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 and here. But this one was the most important, ruled by a heavenly superperson, or emperor for short.
A heavenly superperson? Well, we're going to Google emperor, and if it says heavenly superperson, I'm a freaking... It does. It says heavenly superperson.
Religion. The new prince wants everyone to try this hot new religion from Buddhism. Please try this religion, he said. No, said everybody. Try it, he said. No, said everybody, again, quieter this time. And so the religion was put into place, and all the rules that came with it.
Oh my
God! The government was
God.
taken over by another clique, and they made some reforms, like making the government govern more, and making the government more like China's government, which is a government that governs more.
Oh
Hi,
my
China,
God.
they said.
Hi, China.
Hi, dipshit, said China. Can you call us something else other than dipshit, said Japan. Like what, said China. How about Sunrise Land?
Sunrise Land. Yes, dude. Is that what neon really stands for? That's amazing. If that is the case, that'd be hilarious. This dude is making me question my own freaking, like, language. And I'm not even good at English in the first place, making me question it.
China's alphabet and wrote a book about themselves. And then they made lots of poetry and art and another book about themselves. Then they stopped moving the capital every time the emperor died and kept it in one place for a while, right here. And they conquered the north, finally.
I'm actually going to Kyoto. Kyoto's where I'm going on, like, the 20th.
That's squared away. A rich hipster named Kukai is bored with modern Buddhism, visits China, and learns a better version, which is more spiritual. He comes back, reinvents the alphabet, and causes art and literature to be great for a long time.
Oh my God!
The royal palace turned into such a dream world of art that they really didn't give a shit about running the country. So if you live outside the palace, how are you supposed to protect your shit from criminals? Hire a samurai. Everyone started hiring samurai.
What?
Rich, important people hired samurai. Poor people who could not afford to hire samurai did not hire samurai. The samurai became
That's what this was
powerful.
about? Dude, if this is how I'm getting my history of Japan right now, I feel like there's either, I'm hoping, for the love of God, that this is somewhat accurate. I don't even know, dude. I'm questioning everything at this point. Were like samurai just like bodyguards for hire? I don't know.
Powerful than the government, so they made their own military government. Here, they let the emperor still be emperor, but the shogun is actually in control.
Okay.
Breaking news, the Mongols have invaded China.
We've invaded China,
said the Mongols.
Please respect us, or else we might invade you as well.
Dun, dun, dun.
Said Japan. So the Mongols came over, ready for war, and died in a tornado. But they tried again, and had a nice time fighting with the Japanese, but then died in a tornado.
That's a true story. That's a very true story.
And the emperor
so we got
overthrows
that.
the shogunate. Then the shogunate overthrows him back and moves to Kyoto and makes a new shogunate. And the emperor can still dress like an emperor if he wants. That's fine. Now there's more art. Like painting with less colors, collaborative poetry, plays, monkey fun, tea parties, gardening, architecture, flowers. It's time for who's going to be the next shogun. Usually it's...
Are we going to get all the way up to like anime and stuff like that right now? Because that's kind of like, that was my start with Japan, was like anime. Finding like Dragon Ball Z, I think was one of my first jumps into like Japanese anything, and then from there it just went off, dude. Like I literally just went crazy, like checking out all the stuff from there. But like maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe we're getting anime. I don't know.
Kid, but the shogun doesn't have a kid, so he tries to get his brother to quit being a monk and be the next shogun. He says okay, but then the shogun has a kid. So now who's it going to be? Vote now on your phones. And everyone voted so hard that the palace caught on fire and burned down. The shogun actually didn't care. He was off somewhere doing poetry. And the whole country broke into pieces. Everyone is fighting with each other for local power, and it's anybody's game.
Oh
Knock
my
knock,
God.
it's Europe. No, they're not here to take over. They just want to sell some shit, like clocks, and guns, and Jesus.
And
So that's cool, but everyone's still
Yes,
fighting each
dude.
other for control, now with guns. And wouldn't it be nice to control the capital, which right now is puppets, with no one controlling them? This clan is ready to make a run for it, but first they have to trample this smaller clan, which is in the way. Surprise, the smaller clan wins, and the leader of that clan steals the idea of invading the capital and invades the capital. And it
Look
goes
at
very
him.
well.
Look
He's
at
about
him.
halfway through conquering Japan when someone who works for him kills him, and then
Oh my
someone else who
God.
works for him kills them, and that guy finishes conquering Japan. And then he confiscated everybody's swords and made some rules. And now
No having sword or a gun. No climbing the social ladder. Pain.
going to invade Korea and then hopefully China, he said, and failed, and also died. But before he died, he told these 5 guys to take care of his 5-year-old son until he's old enough to be the next ruler of Japan. And the 5 guys said, yeah, right, it's not going to be this kid, it's going to be one of us, because we're grown-ups. And it's probably going to be this guy, who happens to be way more rich and powerful than the others. A lot
Donald Trump flash in? Oh my God, dude.
support him, but a lot of people support not supporting him. They have a fight, and he wins, and starts a new government, right here. And he still lets the emperor dress like an emperor, and have very nice things. But don't get confused, this is the new government, and they are very strict. So strict they close the country. No one can
Oh my
leave,
God.
and no one can come in. Except for the Dutch, if they want to buy and sell shit. But they have to do.
The Dutch? The Dutch gotta pass! The Dutch gotta pass!
Now that the entire country was not at war with itself, the population increased a lot. Business increased, schools were built, roads were built, everyone learned to read, books were published, there was poetry, plays, sexy times, puppet shows,
Sexy
and
times?
Dutch studies. People started to study.
Did anyone else notice how creepy that freaking
Books
puppet
were
was?
published. There was poetry, plays, sexy times, puppet shows.
Look at that freaking puppet!
Dutch studies. People started to study European science from books they bought from the Dutch. We're talking geography, skeletons, physics, chemistry, astronomy, and maybe even
God.
electricity. Over time, the economic and cultural prosperity began to gradually slow down. Knock knock.
Bum, bum, bum.
It's the United States.
Oh, God.
With huge boats. With guns. Gunboats. Open the country. Stop having it be closed, said the United States. There was really nothing they could do, so they signed a contract that lets the United States, Britain, and Russia visit Japan anytime they want.
that's
Choshu
cool.
and Satsuma hated this. That sucks, they said.
no.
This sucks. And with almost very little outside help, they overthrew the shogunate and somehow made the emperor again and moved him to Edo, which they renamed Eastern Capital.
Y'all notice like the total change in like attire
Shogunate,
there?
and somehow made the emperor
Boom! I mean, what?
and moved him to Edo, which they renamed Eastern Capital. They made a new government, which
Whoa,
was
whoa, 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 whoa. It says
the
Eastern
emperor again,
Capital and then
moved
broke
him
up?
to Edo, which they renamed Eastern Capital.
Really? Tokyo? Is that really?
They made a new government, which
Dude,
was a
I'm
lot
questioning
more Western.
everything!
They made a new constitution that was pretty Western, and a military that was pretty Western.
Yeah.
And do you know what else is Western? That's right, it's conquering stuff. So what can we conquer? Korea. They conquer Korea, taking it from its previous owner, China, and then go a little bit further. And Russia rushes in out of nowhere and says, "Stop, no, you can't take that. We were going to build a railroad through here to try to get some warm water." And Russia builds their railroad, supervised by a shit ton of soldiers. And then when the railroad was done, they downgraded to a fuck ton. Did I say downgrade? I meant upgrade. And
Oh
Japan
my
says,
God.
"Can you maybe chill?" And Russia says, "How about maybe you
Maybe
chill?"
chill? Oh my
Japan is
God.
kind of scared of Russia. You'll never guess who's also kind of scared of Russia. Great Britain. So Japan and Great Britain make an alliance together so they can be a little less scared of Russia. Feeling
What?
confident, Japan goes to war against Russia, just for a moment, and then they both get tired and stop.
Just for a moment?
The world
Dude, that is the greatest theme song for a world war that I've ever heard in my life.
for a moment, and then they both get tired and stop.
It's time for World War I.
The world is
so
about to
good.
have a war because it's the 1900s and weapons are getting crazy, and all these empires are excited to try them out on each other. Meanwhile, Japan has been
God.
enjoying conquering stuff and wants more. And the next thing on their list is this part of China and lots of tiny islands. All that stuff belongs to Germany, which just had war declared on it by Britain because Britain was friends with Belgium, which was being trespassed by Germany in order to get to France to kick France's ass because France is friends with Russia, who was getting ready to kick Austria's ass because Austria was getting ready to kick Serbia's ass
Oh
because
my
someone from
God.
Serbia shot the leader of Austria's ass. Or
Yeah,
actually shot him in the
I've
head.
heard about that.
And Britain is currently friends with Japan, so you know what that means.
But-
Duh, Japan should take the islands. Which they
Yeah.
wanted to do anyway, so they called Britain on the telly to sort of let them know. And then they did it. And they
Like,
also helped
these are
Britain a
ours.
little here and there with some errands and stuff.
Oh my God.
Now the war is over, and congratulations, Japan. You technically fought in the war, which means you get to sit at the negotiating table with the big dudes, where they decided who owns what. And yes, Japan gets to keep all that shit they stole from Germany. You also get to join the post-war mega alliance, the League of Nations, whose mission
What a
statement
cool
is to try not to take
theme
over the world.
song. This dude's giving everybody cool theme songs, and it just makes everything so interesting. But also, be on guard. I don't know. Do we have a fact checker? Can someone just fact check all this stuff in the comments below, please? I would totally be down with that.
The Great Depression is bad, and Japan's economy is now crappy, but the military is doing just fine, and it invades Manchuria. In the League of Nations, it's like, no, don't do that. If you're in the League of Nations, you're not supposed to take over the world. And Japan said,
How about I do anyway?
And Japan invaded more and more and more and more of China, and was planning to invade the entire East.
You've got mail.
It's from Germany, the new leader of Germany. He has a cool mustache, and he's trying to take over the world and needs friends. He's also got
I'm interested in taking the world, and I was wondering if you could be my friend. I wonder, yeah, it sounds accurate.
Italy. They all decided to be friends because they had so much in common.
It's time for
Whoa, hold on. What were the things they had in common?
This also got forwarded to Italy. They all decided to be friends because they had so much in common.
Okay, trying to take over the world needs friends. Okay, that makes
It's
sense.
time for World War II.
Germany is invading the neighbors. Then they invade the neighbors' neighbors. Then the neighbors' neighbors' neighbors, who happened to be Britain, said, holy shit. And the United States started helping Britain because they are
Good friends.
and started not helping Japan because they're
Friends and our friends are not friends. Plus they're planning on invading the entire ocean.
The United States is also working on a large, very huge bomb, bigger than any other bomb, ever. Just in case.
Trademark.
But they still haven't joined the war. War looks bad on TV, and the United States is really starting to care about their image. But then Japan spits on them in Hawaii and challenges them to war. And they say yes. And then Germany, as a symbol of friendship, declares war on the United States also. So the United States goes to war in Europe, and they help the gang chase Germany back into Germany. And they also start chasing Japan back into Japan. And they haven't used the bomb yet and are curious to see if it works, so they drop it on Japan. They actually dropped 2.
Cities that existed, it said, and then other cities. Good God, man. And also, if you look at this map, like, I don't know, but that's wild how much Japan actually, like, had conquered in that time. Good God. So, yeah. You win.
United States installed a new government, inspired by the United States government, with just the right ingredients for a
Postwar economic miracle.
And Japan starts making TVs, VCRs, automobiles, and camcorders
Look at that Subaru
best as
boss.
they can, and also better than everybody else. They get rich, and the economy goes wild, and then the miracle wears off. But everything's still pretty cool, I guess.
Bye.
We're going to end it with everything else is so cool, I guess. Literally, that's the part of the freaking... The parts that he didn't get to are the parts that we're all like obsessed with now, which is wild, dude. So it went back. It went pretty far back, dude. We got pretty far back to the negative a million or a billion or something like that. Covered a ton in, a little bit of time. Good God. Okay, I have all the questions, though. How much of that was actually historically accurate? And then, like, if that is the case about, like, even the name Tokyo, how did I not know that that meant, like, was it Eastern capital? Maybe, is that true? I gotta look that up, too, dude. At least, okay, listen, if we look that up and that's accurate, does Tokyo mean son of a... He was right about everything, dude. He was right about everything! Ah! I'm just saying, I don't know what to trust, but at least the Eastern capital part is real. What else is real? I gotta know. Somebody let me know in the comments, please. And for real, thank y'all very much for this suggestion. It's the most random one ever. We do like music reactions, but I'm totally down with checking out anything. So if y'all have other suggestions of things for us to react to, drop it in the comments below. I hope you guys are having a blessed day or night, whatever time it is you're watching this. Spread some positivity out there. Be kind to each other. And if anyone needs anything at all of my socials are at John Reeves Live. Send me a message, and I will catch y'all then. Friggin' toodles.